The Central Hungary region is one of the 8 major regions of Hungary. It lies in the middle of the country and includes only one county, Pest. Its seat, Budapest, which is also the capital of Hungary, forms a separate region. Geographically speaking, the region belongs to the Great Hungarian Plain to the southeast, the Transdanubian Mountains to the west and north, and the Northern Hungarian Mountains to the northeast. The region has a distinct character owed primarily to the river Danube, which divides it as it flows from the north to the south. The region's islands, too, make their own contribution to its character. Typical for the plain territories are flat grasslands, wooded areas, and agricultural fields, while the mountainous areas are covered by forests. The highest point of the region is the 939 meters high Mount Csóványos. The total population of Pest County is 2.9 million, including Budapest, but the number of people in the region living beyond the borders of Budapest is only 1.2 million. There are many important cultural, economic and education centers in the region, such as Érd, Gödöllő, Szentendre and Vác. Economically seen, Central Hungary is the most developed part of the country, home to many factories and industrial facilities. The region's most famous and most popular destination is the Danube Band, a U-shaped curve of the river enclosed by 3 mountain ranges, the Berzseny Mountains on the north, and the Visegrad Mountains and the Pilis Mountains on the south. The area, which stretches from Esztergom to Vác and Szentendre, offers numerous natural and cultural attractions. The city of Vác is an episcopal seat and also a historical center of Hungarian education. It has a population of 35,000. The city lies north of Budapest, at the gateway to the famous Danube Band region on the eastern bank of the river. The Baroque-style main square of the city belongs to the most attractive and beautiful public spaces in Hungary. The Episcopal Cathedral of Vác, built in the late 18th century, is a magnificent example of late Baroque and early Neoclassicism. The dome of the church is 55 meters high, while the 2 towers are 38 meters. One of the symbols of the city is the Arch of Triumph, or as local people refer to it, the Stone Gate, which was erected for the royal visit of Queen Maria Theresia in 1764. According to the legends, the Queen did not dare to pass the road under the arch, since its construction has been finished within a suspiciously short time, only 2 weeks. Close to Vác lies the National Botanical Garden of Vácrátót, the biggest and richest of its kind in the country, a collection of 13,000 species, which is under the patronage of the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. The only bear shelter in Central Europe is located in Veresegyház. Established by a foundation in 1998, the institution is home to dozens of bears and predators, such as wolves and even lions. Crossing the Danube to the other side, Szentendre is definitely one of Hungary's must-visit towns. It has a population of 25,000 and it is by far the most popular tourist destination in the Danube Band region, home to a number of museums and monuments. The most famous one is the Open-Air Ethnographic Museum, which presents the traditional way of housing, handcraft and industry, and rural life in Hungary. Szentendre is also the center of ethnic Serbs living in Hungary. Due to its richly decorated Orthodox churches and narrow, colorful streets, as well as the natural beauty of the Danube banks, Szentendre possesses a charming, Mediterranean-like atmosphere. No wonder that the town became a center of Hungarian art, especially painting too. The little historical town of Visegrad once used to be a royal seat. Even in its ruins, the Renaissance royal palace of King Matthias Corvinus reflects Visegrad's old glory and rank. But the town's most important symbol is the iconic citadel, which, together with the lower castle and the Solomon's Tower on the bank of the river, counted as the most important fortifications of the Kingdom of Hungary. In 1335, Visegrad hosted the Congress of three mighty Central European rulers, the kings of Hungary, Bohemia and Poland. Centuries later, in 1991, the newborn democratic republics of Hungary, Czechoslovakia and Poland renewed their cooperation in the same place, as an honor to this historical alliance, which meant the birth of the Visegrad Group. Leaving the Danube band behind, there is still a lot more to see in central Hungary. One of the rare surviving examples of medieval architecture in Hungary is the ruin of the Premonstratensian monastery church in Zsámbék. It was built in the 13th century in Romanesque style as a private family church, and later on it was rebuilt in Gothic style. It was severely damaged during the Ottoman fights, but the final destruction was caused by an earthquake in 1736. The city of Érd is the second most populous settlement in Pest County. It lies on the western bank of the Danube, south of Budapest. The most well-known site of Érd is the minaret, the 23 meters high tower of a former mosque, which was built by the Ottomans in the 17th century. Another attraction is the biggest church of the city, dedicated to Saint Michael, which was consecrated in 1723. Back to the other side of the Danube, Gödöllő lies at the foothills of the northern Hungarian mountains. It is an important educational center, the headquarters of the Szent István University, which mostly offers agricultural and engineering studies. Because of its geographical location, Gödöllő used to be a royal hunting ground of medieval kings. After the Ottoman demolition, the district became a property of the Grassalkovich princes. Their beautiful U-shaped Baroque palace, built in the 18th century, is a pearl of Hungarian architecture, which, after the male line of the family had died out, became a residence of the imperial and royal couple Franz Joseph and his wife. Elizabeth, also known as Sissy, loved to spend her time in Gödöllő. Today the palace is a museum dedicated to her memory too. Parts of the complex are still under reconstruction. Its riding hall served as the official high-level meeting room during the Hungarian presidency of the European Union in 2011. There are many charming small towns on the plain part of Pest County too. Cegléd, for example, is famous for its healing water and thermal spa. The town still remembers the historical speech of Lajos Kossuth, who visited Cegléd during his conscription tour for the War of Independence. It is also an important center of Hungarian Protestants, one of the biggest Calvinist churches of the country. A remarkable example of Hungarian neoclassicism is located there.